And now to South Africa to speak to our correspondent John Sparks, who is in Johannesburg, where deadly riots are continuing. John, for those just joining us, just remind us what is happening and the background to it.
Sure, yes. I mean, we have seen 3 days of protesting, of rioting, of general lawlessness in some of the biggest cities in South Africa, and that was triggered by the arrest of the former president of this country, Jacob Zuma. He was arrested on Thursday night. He handed himself over to police after much drama, to the police after the Constitutional Court in this country sentenced him for 15 months for his refusal to attend an anti-corruption commission called the Zonda Commission. And the irony here is that President Zuma initiated or set up that commission when he was president. He was forced to do so because of the widespread allegations of corruption and graft, what they call state capture in this country, which he attracted and people in his circle attracted as well, in particular a family, an Indian family called the Guptas, who moved to South Africa during his time and are accused of wasting, stealing huge amount of state resources. We're back up now. We've been walking up Watt Street in Alexandra, one of the largest townships in Johannesburg, with members of the South African Police Service. They have been involved in running skirmishes with residents and others, protesters, looters, through much of the day. I think you can see a shopping mall, the Pan Africa shopping mall just behind them. That was invaded essentially yesterday at 6 p.m. It's a shopping mall that you would recognize at home, with all of the same sorts of shops, except everything has been stripped now. Everything has been taken out, including the furniture, the cash machines, anything of value. What the police have been trying to do is restore a sense of order in the central business district, but they are completely outnumbered, completely overwhelmed. They've been using rubber bullets to drive people back, but as soon as they do so, people come forward again in this very repetitive process that the police really are not able to control at all. And we have now heard that the South African military, the South African Defence Force, will be deployed on the streets. And frankly, they're going to have to do that because this sort of scene has been replicated all over the country, in towns and cities all over the country. It's really nasty episode of lawlessness, although it has been applauded by some, applauded by members of Jacob Zuma's family, who seem to think that this is an exercise in political demonstration, a sign of support for their father. But I think they are in the minority, those people. Just looking behind us, just to see what people are doing, you can see a few people there having a look, coming out of shops, seeing if there's anything else they can take. And really, there's not much the police can do at this stage. They're just not here in the numbers to enforce any sort of order. And you know, it's obviously a tragedy for the people who own these businesses, who work here. I'm talking about thousands of people who would work here, because everything is gone. They will be starting from scratch. A very, very difficult situation for the police here to contain. But I do think now the police are going to start moving up Watt Street again, and we'll just follow them from a distance. I think it's important to say that the unemployment rate in South Africa is very high. COVID has been really tough for people. We're in the middle of a nasty third wave of infection with high levels of restrictions now in place in the country, and people are hungry. You know, this is a developing world country. People are frustrated and angry, and the arrest of Jacob Zuma and the initial protests, I'm seeing some people throwing some bottles and stones now, and someone over there carrying a couch, probably removed from a from a shop. People are taking the opportunity to enrich themselves while they can. But, this is the result. This is the center of Alexandra, prosperous shopping precinct that now looks like it's been the scene of a nasty war. It's really difficult for the South African authorities to get a hold of this, and it symbolizes this nasty factional dispute within the ruling ANC party. The president of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, was on television last night saying that episodes like this, the violence was completely unacceptable. But he angered a lot of people as well when he called it an ethnic mobilization, and that is because President Zuma is a Zulu. He attracts support from Zulu members of the ethnic group, the Zulus in South Africa. But a lot of people who support Zuma say this has got nothing to do with ethnic identity. They think that this is an issue of democracy. They think that Jacob Zuma has been forced into prison as part of a political campaign to marginalize him, to disempower him. So it's caused a lot of problems, a lot of difficulties in the ruling ANC party. I think a lot of people a few days ago were thinking that Cyril Ramaphosa had handled this. We're just going to move back here. Cyril Ramaphosa had, in letting the courts deal with this situation.
And John, legal experts suggesting that Jacob Zuma's chances of success are slim. He's asked the Constitutional Court to rescind his jail term if it doesn't go his way. What of the escalation of a situation there?
Look, I think legally speaking, I'd say his chances are less than slim of getting himself out of jail. He's currently locked up. He'll serve about 4 months of a 15-month sentence in Durban on the east coast of South Africa. There we go. A few people leaving the shops. I'm not sure if he was an employee or an opportunist, but look, he's got very, very little hope of getting this sentence reversed. And it's just the first, actually. It's the first legal action of many that former President Zuma is facing. We're going to walk down Watt Road again. So I think legally speaking, I cannot see, I don't think anybody can really see Jacob Zuma getting out of this one. He has employed a legal tactic, a legal strategy that they call Stalingrad here. He fights everything, and he fights it in multiple courts. He fought the decision of the Constitutional Court. And that's what we will hear from. We should get a verdict from. He's basically challenging the Constitutional Court today. Very, very unlikely to get out of that one. And it's going to be up to Cyril Ramaphosa ultimately to diffuse this situation. He's going to bring in the military. He's going to bring in the South African Defence Force. But it's going to take some serious political outreach as well to bring calm to the situation here, because as we've seen in Alexandra, the police service, they certainly cannot handle it.